All right, good morning, guys. It is a foggy morning, looks like, here as we're heading towards Milton. And this morning, actually heading out with my buddy Steve here, and we are going to do a first aid course called Shooter Down Self-Rescue. So, what's your understanding of this training we're going to be doing, Steve?
It sounds a little bit like Gabe Suarez's close-range handgun fighting course, and a lot of it has to do with when your primary hand, I think, based on what I've had previously, when your primary hand goes down, how you can respond to that situation, and plus the fact that if you yourself become wounded, how you can apply medical attention until you get to advanced medical care.
Right.
Sounds like an interesting course.
Yeah, so they actually asked us to bring our handguns as well, so, which is a little strange. I don't know how we're going to incorporate that in the class. But anyways, so we'll see. We'll try to do some filming and let you guys see what happens today. It's a first type of class doing this type of thing, so we'll see. It looks like it'll be fun.
We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. We're going to talk about what you guys can carry in your kits while you're on the range. You should always have a range kit, and you guys should have your personal kits on you. And they should be marked so everybody can find them. We tell our guys when we teach them the quick clot tourniquet class, if you don't have it on you might as well not even have it at all. Because with a tourniquet, you've got very little time to get it on and get it on right before you lose consciousness.
So I'm here with Carl, and he's with Centerfire Training and Consulting.
Yes, sir.
And you're the instructor today. What are we going to be doing today, Carl?
We're going to talk about being gunshot and how to live through that, how to fight through that, and then how to treat ourselves, self-rescue, and get ourselves out of there. We can also talk about team tactics where our partner might be hurt, how to deal with him and stay in the fight, then finish the fight, get back on him, and treat him and get him out of there.
Right. So what would you say is one or two of the most important things that you hope people get out of today?
Be prepared. Train, practice one-handed shooting, both strong side, support side, reloads one-handed. Have the proper equipment. Build a first aid kit that you can carry with you all the time. Have those tools available to you, and just be vigilant and be aware of your surroundings and what's going on around you. The flat plastic part is designed to spread the pressure over the appendix. That's flat pressure spot that's right underneath the windlass that we were looking at.
Right.
That spreads that pressure over the arm so that it's not going one pinpoint place. Because if you didn't have that plastic piece where that little thing is knotting up and twisting with the loop, that's going to just pinpoint all that pressure on one small portion of your arm. And that's going to cause that nerve damage.
Is this this type of training something that's really only for a couple, specialized group of people, or do you think this is something that a normal everyday person should be aware of? And
I think anybody that carries a gun should be aware of how to treat wounds. And shoot, even if you're not carrying a gun, you should know how to treat. Imagine one of your kids being shot in an active shooter type situation and you not knowing or having the materials to protect them. Even though if you didn't have a gun to protect yourself, you can still treat your child, and not having those tools, you can't really do a whole lot. So I think it's good for anybody, not just law enforcement or military, but our civilian shooters. Very, very important.
right now, have you had to use this training at all in real world situations?
I have. I did a couple tours with the Marine Corps, fought Panama and Desert Storm, and I've been a police officer for 26 years now.
Okay.
And I'm in the training unit with Fort Lauderdale, and I teach this stuff to my guys and make them carry their stuff all the time. Because if you don't have it, it's not going to be there for you.
Right. So your website what is it? Centerfire Training?
CenterfireTac.com.
Okay. So guys, check it out, and hope you enjoy some of the highlights that we shoot today. Thanks. Very good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Then pack combat gauze directly over the source of bleeding and ensure you have good initial contact.
All right, you see this is a pig. And anybody from Peter here? You got clean gauze and you got other bandages and stuff.
Right.
All that stuff's applicable. You know, and hopefully most of the time on the range, this is the only things we're gonna need.
Right.
Band-aids for people who get little boo-boos. Hopefully we'll never need these other things, you know, but you never know. I mean, your syringe, you could use that as an eye wash without the needle. If you had to, you could suck up, you know, stir water and wash somebody's eye out should they get some contaminant in their eyes. I was on the range, I was teaching a class, and I was getting ready to put some small targets up, so I had spray glue. And I went with the spray glue, and I went, it was clogged, and it sprayed right back into my eyes. And it got in my eyes, and I'm like, and so I go to wash it out, and in one eye, it was like glued shut. I actually had to pull out eyelashes so I could get my eye open again, and it was bothering me. It was in my eye pretty good. So something like that, eye wash, that could come in handy, because I actually probably would have used that if I was on an outdoor range. I would have needed that.
What about this? It's kind of like quick clot, right? But it's just for small.
That's for small wounds.
Small wounds.
Real small wounds. Yeah. Yeah, that's for small wounds. Not for arterial bleeds.
Right.
But for like small wounds, if you want to stop the bleeding quick, that will work. But if it's an arterial bleed, it's not going to do anything for it.
Do you ever, is this really necessary?
Antibiotic,
I have shears in this.
for minor scrapes and stuff that you're going to use these little Band-Aids on. Yeah. Any real wounds,
Like real ones?
yeah, use those on it. It's not going to help. It's not going to help.
I've got another bag in the truck.
Put some Neosporin on it. No, that's not going to help for that, but it'll help for other wounds. You know, to seal up other wounds. You know, and stuff to clean your hands.
The one
And
that's sitting over there.
Right.
I need to.
Anything
I
that
would
you can
use-
see that I'm missing?
gloves.
Yeah, I like that.
Gloves. Those gloves. You know, and I always keep extra sets of gloves in there. Sometimes you put them in, especially putting them on in the dark and haste, they'll fucking tear out on you. And sitting in the heat in your car, they start to deteriorate, and then you put them on and they'll blow out on you. Plus, if I've got another person with me, I can throw them a pair of gloves. Hey, help me.
You got the magazine opening corded out. Perfect. That way gives you resistance, drop the slide forward. You're ready to rock and roll. Exactly. So now, the drill that he's about to do. So we'll do that one. Going over the one-handed drills that Carl was teaching. I remember when I was a brand new cop and Carl was teaching me these things, I'm going, what's the chances you're going to have to shoot left-handed? You know, your right hand's going to be down. It's one of those stories that might happen once in 50 years of law enforcement. No more than a couple weeks later, a cop named Bob Norris got in a shooting with a bad guy. Bad guy stepped right out of the car, started cranking off rounds, shot the first cop right in the neck, Sam Bryant. He lived. Sam went down. He was out of the game. Bob started drawing fire, started returning rounds to the bad guy. The bad guy shot Bob right in his ring finger, and it almost took off his ring finger, but the round lodged in the magazine. So now his primary gun was inoperative, and he had no right hand. So he had to actually retreat back around the patrol car to Sam, get Sam's gun to be able to return fire and ultimately kill the bad guy. So it was just almost probably about, I don't know, maybe a month after actually Carl teaching me that drill, realistic, tangible situation that happened.
But there's a lot of guys that walk around with their head up their ass that are never going to be challenged, and that's the only reason they go home. And then when they're challenged, they're not ready for it. And you got to be what if and this, what if and that, and what is the worst case scenario. And shooting, support side, if I only had a half hour to shoot and a box of bullets, I'd probably do it all left-handed, one-handed. Because if I can horn my skills with my support side, it only makes me better with my strong side, because it makes it that much easier using my strong arm. All right?
All right, so we are now leaving the class, and Steve, what'd you think?
Excellent training, kind of a refresher in many ways. The medical thing, it needs to really be practiced and focused on a lot more than what we can get in the classroom. That's true of any of this stuff. This is just giving you a taste, and you've got to go back out in the field and practice it to make it a part of you.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, it's definitely, you've got to continually practice and keep in tune with this stuff, where it's a perishable skill. So,
Very perishable.
but I think we learned a lot of, you know, some of the stuff with the medical, the chest compression, the chest sucking wounds and stuff like that. And it still gives me the heebie-jeebies, but you know, I asked the instructor, one of the questions was basically, you know, when you're squeamish with blood and all that. How does that relate? And he's like, when it's going down, it all goes out the window, and you just do what needs to be done. So
In a time of crisis, you will default to your level of training.
Yeah, so get the training, guys, and maybe you guys can join us in future little outings. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.
Have a good one.